Welcome to our lesson on biodiversity, waste management and land use. The key questions for today are 1. What is biodiversity? 2. Why is maintaining biodiversity important? 3. Why is managing waste from human activities important? 4. What pollution do humans cause? 5. Why is conserving certain areas of land important? The key terms you will need to know are biodiversity, ecosystem, pollution, peat, compost. Biodiversity is a word used to describe the variety of living organisms within an ecosystem or on the Earth as a whole. The higher the level of biodiversity, the more stable an ecosystem is. This means that the ecosystem is more likely to survive changes in the environment. Some species rely on other species for food, shelter, or other needs. Maintaining biodiversity on Earth is very important to secure the future of our planet. Many products that we rely on, such as medicines and building materials, are found within ecosystems. There are many things that we may not have discovered yet that will be useful in the future, and if biodiversity falls, these things may not be available to us in the future. Task. Look at the food web below and use it to answer these questions. 1. What would happen to the population of wildcats if the population of rabbits decreased due to a change in temperature? 2. If the population of mice decreased, what other animals would this affect and why? 3. Which animals have more than one food source? How does this affect the stability of their food availability? If the population of rabbits was to decrease due to a change in temperature, the wildcats would have less food and their numbers may decrease. The wildcats would now only have the mice to rely on as their food source, and there may not be enough mice. If the population of mice was to decrease, the wildcat, owl, and snake populations may all decrease. The decrease in the snake population would cause the eagle population to decrease. The lion and wildcat both have more than one food source. This means that if one declines, they could rely on another. This means that they are less likely to be left with no food, which helps to maintain their numbers. This is what having a high level of biodiversity means. The organisms in the ecosystem have several options for food, so changes in the environment do not have huge effects on the ecosystem as a whole. If the organisms only have one food source, then a change in the environment can cause the whole ecosystem to collapse. Extension. Explain in your own words the importance of biodiversity. Biodiversity is the range of different living organisms in an ecosystem or on Earth. It is very important in maintaining the stability of ecosystems. The higher the level of biodiversity, the more variety of organisms there is, and the more stable the ecosystem is. Human activities can affect ecosystems and can have a big effect on the biodiversity present. The human population has grown rapidly and the standard of living has increased. This means that as a population, we consume more products and create more waste. This means the humans are using up the Earth's resources and polluting the Earth with the waste materials that we produce. The pollution we cause can be water pollution, which includes sewage, toxic chemicals, fertilizers and other chemical waste leaching into the water supplies. Air pollution is caused by gases released from burning fossil fuels, factories, and vehicle exhausts. These gases can be greenhouse gases, which contribute to global warming, or they can be oxides of sulfur and nitrogen that cause acid rain. Incomplete combustion of fuels can also release smoke, which is small particles of carbon. This causes global dimming, and it blocks the light reaching the surface of the Earth. This can particularly affect plants as they receive less sunlight for photosynthesis. On land, lots of our waste goes into landfill. Toxic chemicals and gases can be released from landfill sites. Any type of pollution can kill plants and animals, in turn reducing biodiversity and causing ecosystems to become unstable. Task: state the types of pollution that the following activities produce. Burning fossil fuels, releasing sewage into rivers, car exhausts, household waste being buried as landfill. Burning fossil fuels causes air pollution. In particular, carbon dioxide is released, which is a greenhouse gas. This contributes to global warming and all of the associated effects. Releasing sewage into rivers is water pollution, and this can affect the living organisms present in the river and on the land surrounding it. Car exhausts release carbon dioxide and other pollutants into the air as air pollution. Household waste being buried as landfill is an example of land pollution. Chemicals and gases can be released as the waste decomposes, which pollutes the air and land around the site. Some materials will not break down and will remain in the land for thousands of years. Humans clear land of its natural biodiversity in order to build houses, dig up raw materials such as stone for building and metal for industry, grow crops, raise livestock, or dump waste. This leads to fewer habitats for other organisms, therefore decreasing biodiversity. Some of the areas cleared include forests, wetlands, and bogs. Certain types of bog, called peat bogs, have been dug up for many years to clear land for other uses and use the nutrient-rich peat for compost, which helps with growing crops. Peat bogs are a natural store of carbon dioxide, so destroying them and burning peat releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Peat bogs also support a diverse range of organisms and microorganisms, making them one of the most biodiverse ecosystems. Destroying them reduces biodiversity significantly. Task: explain why burning peat is bad for the environment. Burning peat releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Digging up the peat also destroys the bogs where it's found and reduces biodiversity. Extension: answer this AQA exam question. Human activities have many effects on our ecosystem. The graph shows the volume of peat compost and peat-free compost used in gardening from 1999 to 2009. Describe the trends shown in the graph. The volume of peat compost has been steady until 2005 and then declined, and the volume of peat-free compost has increased since 1999. The total volume of peat and peat-free compost has increased. Until 2005, the volume of peat compost was higher than peat-free compost. And from 2007, the volume of peat-free compost has been higher than peat compost.